Well, meanwhile, the share of the Chinese currency in world markets has doubled over the past year. Last February, the yuan accounted for less than 2% of global trade. Since then, the Chinese currency has reached 4.5%, with the yuan now breathing down the euro's neck. The dollar share is also in decline as more and more traders turn to its Chinese rival. Well, let's discuss this now with our panel of guests. That's Daniel Shaw, Professor of Latin American and Caribbean Studies at the City University of New York, Suvir Kamal Dutta, political and foreign policy expert, and John Kovrulich, political analyst and the senior editor of Issue Insight. Gentlemen, thanks very much for joining me this evening, or whatever time of day it is where you are now. Daniel Shaw, I'm just going to start off with you, if you don't mind. We've seen this call by the Brazilian president to switch to trade in national currencies. What benefits are there for members of doing this? And are we seeing a gradual move away from the dollar when it comes to trade?
Yeah, this is very significant, Peter. The dollar supremacy has done so much damage to South America and to oppressed countries the world over. We see the center of economic gravity and of political gravity and diplomatic gravity shifting to the east, to Shanghai, to Beijing, to Moscow. This comes as great news to all the exploited, underdeveloped countries of the world who have for so long been trapped into this historical dependency, not just on the dollar, but on U.S. markets. Now we see 151 nations that have signed up for the Silk Road Initiative. We see dozens and dozens of countries across South America and the Middle East lining up to join BRICS. We see BRICS growing every day. We see bigger deals being brokered in the UN. So as Dilma Rousseff, the new president of the new development bank, in contrast to the underdevelopment banks like the IMF and the World Bank, as Dilma Rousseff has indicated, this is a whole new day for the world economy and the world's people.
Mm-hmm. Thank you, Daniel. Dr. Suvir Kamal Dutta, what are the main benefits of the countries in BRICS in trading with their own countries? What sort of control does this give them that the greenback doesn't?
Well, it is quite significant if countries start trading in their own currencies, in their own national currencies. Then definitely the dependency on dollar, or for that matter, in sterling pound or in euro, would come down drastically as such. And I think that would actually set in a platform for multilateral world order across the whole globe as such, you know. Like in my country itself, our prime minister has initiated for the globalization of the Indian rupee, and we have come up with the rupee as a mode of payment. And so far, around 22 to 23 countries have started trading with India in terms of rupee. And the bilateral trade in rupee has increased tremendously as such. If I have to cite the example of Brazil, Brazil itself is trading with India with the Indian rupees now, as such, with rupee. Mm-hmm. Similar is the case with United Arab Emirates, or for that matter, with Singapore, as well as South Korea, as such. You know, so many countries have accepted this new international, Indian rupee standard order as such, and every day the list is increasing. Many countries from Southeast Asia, as well as African countries and Middle Eastern countries, have already joined in terms of payment in relation to rupee. Even in Europe, also Germany is one of the partners which has joined the rupee valuation as such. And we have been trading with Germany now with the Indian currency, and there is no longer dependency on dollar as such. Mm-hmm. So I think these are very significant moves as such, and these are welcome moves. And definitely BRICS is a very powerful formation. It's a powerful organization. India, China, and Russia are a part and parcel of BRICS, together with Brazil as well as South Africa. And I do understand that in future, BRICS is going to expand further as such. So this historic dependency on dollar as well as on euro and in sterling pound will be diminishing gradually with every passing days. And I think very soon we will see a couple of new currencies emerging as international standards in terms of dollar, in terms of sterling pound as such, or in terms of euro. And in that, I do see the Indian rupee emerging as an alternative to international currencies at the global level.
John, I'm going to bring you in now. Thanks very much for your patience. We are seeing a certain level of de-dollarization now. Practically speaking, trading in these current currencies of developing nations, are they stable enough? Does it affect the sort of stability when it comes to trade between each other, or is that not an issue? Is it still be pegged to the dollar, or how would it work?
No, that the primary issue for especially smaller countries is, do they have the fiscal, the monetary stability in terms of being able to use their currency on a global basis? China, though, throws the wrench into this because of their size, because of the impact of Belt and Road, and because of their willingness to take chances, their ability to push a lot of cash in. So they might, on a political basis, be very interested, be very aggressive in looking at some of these smaller countries precisely because of the domination of the dollar and say, hey, we're willing to trust your currency. We're willing to work with you. And that's going to be a huge challenge for whomever's in the White House